Stop trying to be clean. Stop living every day of life like a damn machine. Society's screwed up. It has gone insane. Stop seeing it as for the ones go with it down the drain. It's the measure of sanity to be happy. It's the measure of happiness to be sane. Take it to the edge. The edge of insanity. Take it to the edge. The edge of insanity. Take it to the edge. The edge of insanity. Take it to the edge.
All right, that's right. You're on the edge. My name is Paul Brumbaugh. I'm sitting here in downtown San Francisco at Edge Studios. That's right, edgestudiosonline.com. Check us out wherever you can see podcasting. I'm sitting here with a good friend of mine. We don't get him down here too often. He's everywhere. This guy, I see him everywhere in San Francisco, except where he usually resides down here. I'm sitting with my friend, artist Richard Perri. Richard, how are you doing, buddy?
Perfect.
Yeah? Good to see you.
I want to thank you for the opportunity of bringing me to the edge of insanity and introduce myself and what I do.
There you go. Right on. So you've been an artist. How long have you been doing art for?
All my life so far.
All your life. You came out with a brush in your hand.
Damn right.
Damn right. and you've been doing art in San Francisco for how long?
Well, I came out here with flowers in my hair.
Oh, so that dates me. That almost predates me. So that's the 60s.
So, yeah, I started doing that. It came out here and got involved in a couple of different art scenes, the underground comic book scene. Did some posters of different bands that were playing in town. Not the big ones, but anyway, did some of that. And just made my own drawings and paintings as time went by.
Now, did you do some of like the Fillmore series kind of posters, kind of like the ones that are behind you and stuff like that?
Well, not for those venues, but did some posters from some friends of mine that had bands.
There you go. And when you look back at those days of the 60s here in the city, what has really changed? I mean, a lot of it has, right? I guess that's a silly question. We only have 15 minutes, right? So how much has it really changed, and what do you really miss from those days?
Well, first of all, I got to say, if you can remember the 60s, you weren't there.
Well, that's probably true, absolutely, especially for myself. And you're right, but it's a totally different vibe here in the city now, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, things change over time. But one of the things I like about the city is that it's a boom and bust town. Things go up, things go down, things go up. So right now we're on the upswing. But the 60s were wild, and I mean it was an opportunity to really experiment with all the different lifestyles and changes that were going on, and it was fun. At least I had fun, and that's basically the reason why I came out to San Francisco.
And you came out here from Rockville Center, New York, is where you were born, and you came out here in the 60s. What was that like? Was it just straight shot out here? Did you know where you were going, or was it one of those things you just landed where you landed?
Well, I always wanted to go out west. I used to watch cowboy movies all the time,
Go west,
home
young man.
on the range, and when nothing is heard of it, a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. But I always wanted to come out west, so my first venture out here was to go to college in Santa Fe, New Mexico, from New York. So I flew out in 1963 to go to college out there. Spent a year there, then on one trip on my way out to California, we drove through Arizona, and I drove past this beautiful place in Tempe, Arizona. It had a beautiful auditorium and everything else, and I found out that it was Arizona State University, so I transferred to there. And finished up over there, did some graduate work, and then came out here.
Now, you got your BA at Arizona State.
Yeah.
And what was that in?
Oh, that was in economics, and also I studied art as well.
Oh, good. So, okay, so I need you for both reasons. I need you for economics as well as the art. And then you made yourself all the way out west. Did you know you went too far if you hit the water, or what was happening?
No, I just wanted to come out here. I definitely wanted to hit the water. But I was out here for the summer of '67, and got into the scene and saw stuff that was going on, and had some very cool experiences at that time, and then came back permanently the following year and moved into an apartment in North Beach.
Right.
And been here ever since. And I moved around to different places in town.
Now, I've seen your art all over San Francisco. I've seen it. I've even seen it on Muni displayed. And usually on Muni, I just keep my head down and watching what I'm doing. But I'm looking up, and there's your art. And this goes back a few years. But I remember you having the Java Hut series of prints and stuff you were doing. And you had that on Muni for a while, right?
Yeah, the funny thing about it is that the San Francisco Beautiful asked me, along with 4 other artists, to make art that would go on in the inside of the Muni, on the above the windows. It had different posters and stuff like that.
Right.
And in one section, it had a picture of me with my quick biography on it. And I would go down the street, and people would come up to me and say, "Hey, I saw you on the Muni the other day." They saw my picture there.
They saw your picture.
Yeah, right.
Now, the one I have hanging in my office is actually Red's Java House, one of my favorite ones.
That was the original one. That started the whole Java Hut series.
That's the one that started it.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. And then the one I didn't realize you had done, which is one of my favorite venues in San Francisco, which is no more, is the Brainwash Cafe. Brainwash was the staple for most artists in the Soma district for a good 20 plus years. It was a laundromat / cafe / open mic or venue. It was kind of a little bit of everything. How did you pick your iconic locales for that shoot?
Well, one of the things that I began to notice that the city was changing. And one of the things that was happening were these little places that were seemed very important at one time because of all the longshoremen that used to go to them, like at Red's Java House and the other Java House and Wolf's Lunch and Carmen's and all those places. And also the Brainwash. They were populated primarily by a lot of blue-collar workers that worked on the longshore. There's longshoremen there. And also there was a lot of printers in town that also went into these places and frequented them. But I saw that as these people were disappearing, the nature of these joints that were populated by them slowly was going away as well, and the whole scene had changed. They started even some of the old places got torn down and they just disappeared. So I felt it incumbent upon me to capture that before they were all gone. And then not only because of that, but because of the characteristic nature of the way that these places looked. I felt that they were very compelling, and they had a certain character that not only visually you could see, but characteristically they said something. They had some sort of a meaning to San Francisco. Prior to the show, I said, I kind of described you as an activist because I always thought of your art. And you said, no, I'm not really into politics. And you're right. I've never really seen politics in your art, but you're an environmentalist. You definitely love the things that are around you and you want to preserve them. Yeah, from that standpoint, at least preserve them visually. Right. I mean, there's very little I can do about preserving them physically because that's just what happens. But I wanted to create a visual representation of what it was like now or then. Right. And I keep doing it. I mean, places are still disappearing as well as people and everything else. And, I have fun doing it. I really enjoy doing it. I feel like whenever I put paint on canvas, I add beauty to the world. And these places are very beautiful, so to my mind. And I try to make them as compelling and rewarding visually to the people that see them. So it's those huts, the Java huts and everything else, and also the transportation system. I'm painting pictures of the old streetcars. I've done those as well. Yeah, that's in part of your newest stuff, right? Well, I've done them before too, but yeah, it's some of the newer things. that's in my exhibit over at the Museo Italiano Americano. By
Which
the way,
we're showing everybody right now, by the way.
it's an exhibit that I have up there until June 9th. So if anybody wants to go to it, you'll see a small portion of my collection. I have 36 pictures hanging on the walls over there.
I wanted to thumb through some of those as we're talking. So, what's the medium you like to work on? It's definitely canvas with
Yeah,
paint.
I'm an oil painter.
You're an
Strictly,
oil painter.
Yeah, just a fine artist, oil painter. That's it.
Okay. And when did you find that medium really quick? I mean, did you experiment with art and then you kind of wound up there, or how did it work for you?
Well, I always liked oil painting. Even as a young kid, I used to paint by numbers, and that was all oil paintings too. So I just got into it. I liked the way it smelled, the way it felt, the way it worked.
So it's tactile almost with you.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets all your senses, like you said, even the smell.
Yeah.
What's your favorite word in the world? If somebody was to say, what's your favorite word?
Richard Perri.
There you go. What's the word you don't want to hear at all? What's a word you never want to hear?
Well, if I said that, I wouldn't want to say it because
that's
I'd hear
true.
it.
There you go. See, that was a trick question. But you're right. It's kind of. Do you feel that your life is a tapestry? That you see things in art as you walk down the street? When I see you walking down the street, it seems like you're taking it all in.
Well, of course, it's part of my my character. It's part of my inspiration, and I don't look at it consciously as everything has got to be art. But I absorb my environment visually. I'm more of a visual person than anything else.
Do you think you do it through osmosis, just kind of walking down the street, and sometimes you don't even realize you take it in, and then all of a sudden you're at home and you're painting?
I think what you just said, I don't realize it. It just comes to me, and then I'll go out and work on an idea and a subject.
What's your next project? What are you working on now? Can you share those kind of things?
That's the same things. Right now, well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just working. I'm just painting it.
Do you have more than one piece that you're working on at a time, or is it only?
Usually one at a time.
So it's like a book. I'm gonna finish this bad boy and then I'll move on
Go
to the next
one.
piece.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to a point? I'm a writer, so there's times where I'm writing a mock-up for a screenplay, or I'm writing up some of my jokes for a set, and I'll get writer's block, right? I'll get writer's block or whatever's happening, and then I'll go, okay, well, I'll come back to that because I'm a writer, and if I can't write jokes today, I'll write whatever. I'll write something else. I'll write a journal. I'll write tags. I'll write social media. I'll do something else to switch. Do you ever get artist block in the middle of a piece?
Not so much in the middle of a piece, but between pieces.
Between pieces, because you don't know maybe where you're going next.
Right. So that's happening, and so I just work through it somehow, or I don't work through it. I just. It
will come to you.
Yeah.
You just have faith it will come to you.
My moods go up and down all the time. So.
Well, that's what us artists do, right?
Yeah.
We kind of we go with the ebb and tide, right? The ebb and flow. And so.
But I'm always thinking about it. If I'm doing it, I'm doing it. If I'm not doing it, I'm thinking about doing it, even though I'm not actually into it. My mind is always there with the idea that that's what I do. So.
Have you woke up in a dream state where you just like, I just had a dream, or I just did something, it's 3 a.m. I need to put brush to canvas now.
Yes, I get up every morning at 3 and I run up to the canvas and and throw the paint on. No, I'll tell you one thing though.
Hit you like that?
When sometimes, but it's not that I am compelled to jump out of bed and go ahead and do it. But I take it and I work on it with fun and seriously at the same time. But like I mentioned, when I put paint on canvas, I add beauty to the world. But in addition to that, I find that it helps relieve all the anxiety that I'm dealing with when I'm painting. It just comes out of me, There's a lot of mental processing that goes on when I'm not painting. But when I'm into the painting, I'm focused on what I do, and I just apply the paint. And to me, it's painting is more about paint application than it is about the visual representation of something. Although I do represent something visually, it's how I apply the paint and create that image so that it appears like a painting to the people that see it.
Okay. So it's more of the tactile state of doing it
Yeah.
than the enjoying of the art. I mean, as a person that enjoys art, I'm a lousy artist. I mean, even my stick figures look bad. So I enjoy art so much that I can sit back and actually just kind of look at it and appreciate it, but I have to wait for you to crank out that piece for me to do it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the next book in a series of novels, or the next episode of a sitcom that I'm dying to see. I'm waiting on you, the artist. I'm waiting on you to complete it so that I can enjoy it. And I guess that's the selfish part of that type of art to me. But you enjoy just the process of it.
That's what it's about.
It is.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
For
me, anyway.
And it kind of, you have that release. Like you said, it drops, it probably drops your blood pressure, elevates your endorphins, kind of gets you in a good mood.
I don't know what it probably does, but I know what the results are.
Does things organically come out of you? Like if you're painting, do you start humming or singing?
No. All I do is think about making the artwork.
Have you ever kind of been in the middle, so much in the zone that you don't even realize what you're doing, and then all of a sudden you have something like, wow, I've really been cooking?
All the time.
Really? So you get into
No, like I said, it's a paint application. I'm always fascinated by the way the paint, when I apply it and I put one color next to another one, and then I adjust it and I work at it. And I'm always excited about how it turns out. It's all about the paint application.
Sounds like you're enjoying every puzzle piece as you put it together.
Well, I wouldn't call it a puzzle piece, but yeah, you can compare it to that, something like that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have spaces that I'm trying to fill. I just put the paint on the canvas all over the place.
That makes sense. Okay. Have you experimented with other types of art, like sculpture?
Not sculpture, but I've done printmaking, and that's probably the other stuff I've done.
I know you've done some printmaking when it came to your Java series, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about just specific prints of different things beside the Java houses.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, lithographs and etchings and stuff like that. And then also, I was involved in the underground comic scene. You know, I did a book with Art Spiegelman, Rory Hayes. I know Robert Crumb. You know, the crowd that was here in San Francisco at the time. And we went around and we spent staying up all night drawing underground cartoons and comic books.
Okay. So now I know that your website you think is old. Oh, it's outdated, but we still want to give people your website. It's Richard Perri, just like it is on the screen, richardperri.com. Luckey. Where did Luckey come from, Luckey?
First of all, you spelled it wrong.
Did I?
Yes, it's Luckey.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad that you pointed that out. Uh-huh. And why Luckey?
Because I'm a lucky guy.
You are a lucky guy. But who called you Luckey at first?
Well, I used to own a bar out there on 29th and Mission. It was called Kavanaugh's.
Okay.
And me and my partner, his name was Sonny and my name was Luckey. We just picked it up at that time. It was like a regular Damon Runyon scene there. We had these characters that came in. You know, we had a guy named Ice Pick Larry. He had a scar across his face. We had Louis the Gat. He used to carry a gun. Another guy named Gorilla Doug. He came in pounding on the bar, saying I could beat anybody in the joint. You know, I mean, it was the cops used to come in and call it a bucket of blood. It was a crazy place, but you know, but we mixed it up. We had ladies' night, half price night, tequila night. We had poetry night too, which was really a good event. You know, we had Herb Cain call it the home of South Beach. Ferlinghetti used to read there along with a couple of other North Beach artists, and I also wrote some poetry, and I would read, and so would my partner. And we had a very good crowd there. It was a great place. It really was.
And so that's where Luckey came from.
That's where he came from.
Because he got out of that place and he made it back here.
Went in and went out, yeah.
Went in and went out. You guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to The Edge of Insanity. I want to make sure I put our social medias up there so you're aware. This is all the stuff we've got going on. Please go follow us, like us, subscribe, ring that little bell, do all the things that you do. But it takes you guys to do these things. And we have a comment section. If you guys have any questions for Richard, please feel free to chime in. I can see your questions here live in real time.
Let me add one thing.
Please do. I want you to.
Don't go to my website. It's old. It doesn't work.
Don't go to the website.
If you want to see stuff that I do, just go Google my name, Richard Perri, or Richard L. Perri Artist, and you'll see the things that I do.
And you'll do a lot, like even the Museo. They did a really good job here.
Yeah, actually, that's another thing. I do have an exhibit at the Museo Italiano Americano. It's up until June 9th. So it's over at Fort Mason in building number C. Stop in. It's a great show.
Yeah, and it's the one-man show.
Yeah, it's a one-man show.
And so here's that information. I'll make sure to leave it down in the comments, guys. But definitely, if you get a chance, check out Richard Perri, Richard L. Perri, that way. You guys are absolutely being able to see it. And anything else you want to talk about? Is any other contact information or anything you want to put out there before we let you go?
Anybody who wants to paint, just go ahead and do it. That's the way it works. So that's what I suggest, and that's what I recommend for people that are interested in becoming artists. Just become one, and you will be.
There you go.
And it's a great career.
It is a great career.
It keeps me smiling all the time, definitely.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I've never seen you unhappy, and one of your favorite colors is my favorite color, is purple, even though you wouldn't know it today with all the green that I feel like a running ad for Mountain Dew right now. Yeah. So, but yeah, I always see you. You always look nice and hip. You always look cool walking down the street. And if you guys see Luckey walking down the street, make sure you say hi. Tell him you saw him here at Edge Studios Online and The Edge of Insanity. And thanks for joining us, man.
I feel that purple and black clothes matter.
There you go. I think so, too. All right, you guys, here's that social media one more time again. Please go like, subscribe, and do all that stuff, and we'll see you guys next time on The Edge, okay? Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
Monday 1 to 3 p.m. Junkyard Rat. Monday 4 to 6 p.m. Ghetto Poet. Tuesdays 11 to 1 p.m. Zig in the Zone. See you on our channel. Edge Studios Online. Keep standing up.